They can fly to another state. They can fly to another country. They can get the protection they need. This will fall on the poorest women in our country. This will fall on the young women who have been abused, who are victims of incest. This will fall on those who have been raped. This will fall on mothers who are already struggling to work 3 jobs to be able to support the children they have.
Hey everybody, what is up? It is Berlin. Welcome. If you're new, I'm Berlin. I do drama videos, tea videos, that kind of thing over here on my channel. If you're not new, hi, welcome back. And I'm sorry, but I'm back once again with another video for you. I haven't actually posted anything in a few days. I've been busy with work and other stuff, but I'm back now because I wanted to bring you a different kind of video today, and it's going to be a little bit more serious of a video than stuff that I normally talk about. You know, with the whole Roe v. Wade overturning thing that's going on in America with the abortion laws, I think it's only right that I, as someone in possession of a pussy, come on here and say my piece on the whole thing and talk about it a little bit, you know, because the more that we bring awareness to it and talk about it, of course, you know, the more that it could potentially help to change people's minds, you know, pro-lifers, the more that it could potentially help to change people's minds, make them see things a little bit differently, or consider things from another perspective at least, you know. Maybe not change anyone's mind, you know. I know me sitting here in a wig and silly makeup is not me changing the world, but I actually did a tiny bit of research on this topic because it's something that I feel passionate about, and it's something that I wanted to come and talk about on my channel. Like I say, being the owner of a pussy, being a non-binary person, there are some things that I wanted to talk about within this video. So there's going to be a lot of talking, a lot of reading, excerpts from articles in this video. Firstly, I wanted to start off with looking at some different religions, their perspective on abortion. I'm going to tell you guys, I am not a religious person at all. I have zero religious beliefs at all. So I'm doing this from like a non-judgmental angle. You know, I'm not especially judging anyone else's religion, but there is going to be talk later on in the video of Christianity and all of this stuff as well. So please bear in mind, I'm really not trying to come for conservative people with this video, but there is going to be talk of, you know, Christian faith in this video, and that might offend some people. I might get some backlash, and that's okay. But what I really wanted to say is I'm not religious, so I don't normally like to judge anybody else for their religious beliefs. But in this instance, I think it's warranted because we're talking about body autonomy for people who need abortions. And of course, it isn't even just about need. You know, anyone should be able to get an abortion for any reason that they see fit. So it isn't just a case of need, it's want to, it's choice, it's human rights, it's having the choice what to do with your own body, your body autonomy. So I felt it was important to come and make this little video. We're going to kick off talking about some religious perspectives, and then later on in the video you'll notice we talk a little bit more about some kind of cultish behavior. And yeah, so I hope you enjoy the video. Please let me know if you like this kind of content from me, and I'll be back with more commentary later.
So first of all, we're going to take a look at some different religious perspectives on abortion. I found this article from the Australian National Islam Council dated 16th of August 2019. The article states, in Islam, life is sacred and highly valued, and for this reason it must be honoured and promoted. The preservation of life is one of basic necessities and purposes. In Islamic law, therefore, abortion is considered unlawful and a major sin in Islam, regardless of the stage of pregnancy. But when you read further down in the article, it does actually go on to say that abortion is permissible at any stage of pregnancy after 120 days. If the pregnancy poses any threat to the mother or the mother's life whatsoever, then abortion is permissible. Point 2 in the article states that abortion before 120 days is treated on a case-by-case basis, with the previous rules kept in mind. So abortion will be permissible before 120 days if the mother's health is in danger or if the fetus has been examined and has an abnormality that's lethal or will cause a severe disability to the child in life. Then we're going to talk about Judaism. Judaism, are they pro-choice or pro-life? Judaism takes a far less stringent approach to abortion than do many pro-life denominations of Christianity, providing explicit exceptions for threats to a mother's life. So with Judaism, it is okay to have an abortion. It's frowned upon, but it's okay to have an abortion if the pregnancy poses a threat to the mother's life and you've got support from the rabbi, then you can have an abortion. The Washington Post recently published an article talking about Supreme Court nominee Amy Coney Barrett, because Amy Coney Barrett has faced questions about how her Catholic faith might influence her decision, her stance on abortion, and they really went in, and they dug deep and found out that Amy Coney Barrett has been part of a Christian group founded in the 1970s based in South Bend. The Christian group is called People of Praise. Now, this is where the whole thing got interesting for me. This is kind of the whole reason why I wanted to make a video on this topic. This is where it got very, very interesting, because the Washington Post went and looked up People of Praise and they tried to dig into it to find out what it was all about, this Christian organisation, and what they found was quite alarming. As per the Washington Post article, they found out that Barrett's ties to the group, which has conservative stances on the role of women in society and other social issues, didn't come to light until after she was questioned by senators considering her nomination to the US Court of Appeals for the 7th Circuit in 2017. The Washington Post dug a little bit deeper. They contacted People of Praise, this Christian group, to try and find out about Barrett's membership in the group and her tenure as a handmaid. I shit you not, a handmaid. These women are called handmaids. It's all getting a bit Handmaid's Tale around here. Further to this, when the Washington Post did their own digging, after getting no answers from People of Praise about their group, when they went and did some digging, they found out that everything about Amy Coney Barrett and her involvement in this group had been wiped offline. Previously, there had been information and links with her and the organisation online that were available to find, but the Post found that all that information has now been wiped and been taken down. You can't find it anywhere. So the group declined to make current members of the group People of Praise available for interview, and some members reached by the Post declined to comment. So it's really sketchy how this religious organisation won't speak to anyone about what goes on in their group. John Fee, a prominent historian of US religion, said that Barrett would be the first Supreme Court justice to come from a charismatic Christian background. Now, charismatic Christian background. What does that mean? Doesn't it all sound a little bit cloak and dagger, a little bit shady, because the People of Praise group are not offering up any information about themselves whatsoever or their members. It's all very sketchy. However, in October 2020, British newspaper The Guardian published an article saying that Amy Coney Barrett was part of this group, this People of Praise group, that actually a lot of women in the group had suffered a lot of emotional trauma, sexual abuse, things of that nature. They alleged in this article that the group was all about servitude to other members, and Coney Barrett was indeed a handmaid in this group. According to the 2020 article, Barrett's father was actually a leader of one of these groups. So it's really, really strange how all of these women in the group came forward, said that they'd been sexually abused. There was a lot of emotional trauma going on. Barrett herself was actually a handmaid in this cult, I want to say. The Guardian article states former members paint a different picture than what Barrett tells. of the group. Allegations and concerns centre on claims of the intense subjugation of women by the community leaders, control of members' lives and decisions, including marriage, living arrangements and child rearing. And in one case, the mishandling of all sexual assault claims. So then you go on here and you see that also members who have any gay sex are expelled from the group. So as well as subjecting women to, you know, men to make decisions for them, this group are also anti-gay. Nice. Don't they sound like a lovely bunch, this People of Praise crew? And while we're on the topic of Christian cults who don't believe in abortion, I'm going to point at fitness influencer Brittany Dawn. Now, Brittany Dawn is somebody that I've spoken about on my channel before because she was really irresponsible with her dog, which led to her dog then getting shot to death. So Brittany Dawn has this tweet that says, "You cannot follow Jesus and support murdering babies. It's not the time for Christians to be silent about abortion or more concerned with your image to others. We are called to be a voice for the voiceless." Now, if you know anything at all about Brittany Dawn, you may well know that she is actually a founder of one of these extreme Christian cults, only she disguises that on Instagram as a retreat for women, and the Instagram is called She Lives Freed. So Brittany Dawn started up this group in 2021, Austin, Texas, and it's basically the teachings of Jesus, of course, but it is a similar group to that of People of Praise. I'd guess largely populated and frequented by right-wing Christians who also don't believe that abortion should be legal. As well as these charismatic Christian cults who don't believe that abortion should be legal, lots of other people have also been voicing their opinions online when it comes to abortion rights. Willow Pill put out on social media, on Twitter, that she didn't think anyone needed a reason or an explanation to have an abortion, because I want to should be enough of an excuse, enough of a reason. And I agree with her, to be honest with you. You know, I'm very pro-choice. There's no two ways about that with me. But also, trans man Prince Chayo took to his Instagram to share his views on the whole conversation surrounding abortion, abortion rights. You know, because quite often now we're all talking about women when we talk about abortion rights. I myself am a non-binary person, and I understand the frustration of being misgendered or being left out of the conversation, because trans men want to stand with, you know, women and fight for women's rights to have an abortion, but they also have rights to have an abortion too. Trans men, at the end of the day, trans men still have pussies. They still need to have the right to have an abortion, because of course anything can happen. Rape, you know, anything. So here's Prince Chayo's perspective on the whole thing.
I know why I'm seeing so much on my phones and social medias about abortion, and fuck anyone trying to ban abortion, truly. But abortion discussions are weird, because it's kind of like, it feels like you have to misgender yourself in order to be a part of them. So I guess I'm just here to remind people that my pussy is popping, and unfortunately it means that sometimes a baby fucking sprouts itself. So trans men and everyone with fucking uterus needs an abortion should they want one.
So all of that was to say this. Essentially, America right now seems to be going back to the archaic old days where women would serve men and, you know, they would do everything the husband told them to and all of this. But, you know, we are not in that age anymore. We are not living in the Handmaid's Tale. You know, we're really not. But at the moment, it's looking like America read that book and said, oh yeah, here's how we do things. You know, it really looks like that to me at the moment, and it's sad and it's awful and it's very scary to see what is going on. Going back to the old days of put the person with a uterus in the kitchen, let them cook and clean and do nothing else. It's disgusting, man. It makes me hella angry. It really does. You know, it makes my blood boil. We have come so far with human rights that now this kind of shit is taking us 50 or 100 years back. Why? Why do we need this now? Then on the topic of trans men being involved in the conversation, of course, my personal beliefs, my personal feelings on all of this is that you can't exclude trans men from the conversation. If you say women constantly when you're talking about abortion, you are excluding trans men and misgendering them. You're excluding them out of the conversation when that's really not fair. You know, anything like a rape or an assault can happen to a trans man just as much as it can to a woman, you know. So I feel like to exclude trans men from the conversation is transphobic. You know, a trans man can get pregnant by accident just like any other woman. So I feel like to exclude them is really doing them a disservice and being transphobic, just outright being transphobic when you talk about these things. And I think this is something that people are still not getting to grasp with, really. People are still not understanding that it's okay to just say people when you're talking about human rights. You don't have to gender it to men or women. You don't have to make, you know, the right to have an abortion all about women. Just change the language slightly to people, you know, or anybody, and then it's fine. You're good to go. You're not misgendering anyone. You're not excluding anyone. You're not being transphobic. You know, that is, of course, if you care about being transphobic, because I know certain people don't. You know, I'm assuming that people, YouTubers like Blair White, would tell me that I'm being a snowflake for my opinion, my stance on the whole thing. You know, authors like J.K. Rowling, who is, of course, a famous TERF, would, of course, tell me, oh, no, this is about women's rights. You know, we don't need to include trans men. This is all about women's rights. And it's like, love, that's not how it works. You know, that is really not how it works. Trans men can still get pregnant just as women can. So you can't leave them out of the conversation about abortion rights. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this video up now, but before I go, I'm going to say, please let me know what you think about all the topics in this video, especially the thing with Brittany Dawn, the fitness influencer. Let me know what you think about her scam for this religious retreat that she's got going on, because honestly I've heard a lot of people talk about that, say that it's a scam, that she was getting the money out of people, and then what they were provided on this religious retreat wasn't actually what it said it was at all. You know, I've heard people describe it as a cult as well, so I'm really kind of intrigued about what's going on over there. But also let me know what you think about the whole trans debate as well. I'm probably going to get hate for that, because I usually do whenever I speak about any trans related topics and how you include trans people into conversations. I normally get hate. I normally get told I'm a snowflake, whatever, you know, but at the end of the day, I'm a non-binary person, so you really can't argue with me on that shit. You know, my opinion is never going to change, so you can argue with yourselves on that one. But, you know, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your thoughts, but my perspective around trans people and this kind of discussion won't ever change, so don't even try that one. And I'm going to go now. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you've made it this far, I love you. Take care, and I'll see you soon on the next one. Bye.